How would you describe your sort of style to somebody?
Yeah, so it's a classic thing, you play it down a bit. I say a lot of lines and blobs, but actually the style, it's digital painting through a traditional lens. I think I've really got to the essence of what I'm trying to do and simplifying it a bit and limiting myself a bit, and that means I can have more fun with it.
When you see it small on Instagram, it looks incredibly like digital work. And when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's really interesting, like that you've moved to digital. And then when I was like looking closer on your website, I was like, oh no, it's clearly painted. And even looking at it now, it's really, I don't really know how to describe the line making. It doesn't sound like a compliment, but I kind of mean it as a compliment.
No, I'm glad you see that, because that's exactly what I do. So through like years of different processes, because I used to take images I'd found like from graffiti and things like that. This was while I was at university, and I would try and reduce them down to the bare essence of what they were, and I would do that digitally. And then I got an iPad, and then I became really interested in how paint moves on a digital canvas. So that really influenced, and I was really interested in the push and pull between digital mark making and traditional mark making. And I think the most interesting part of that is the time aspect, because to create a gestural mark on Procreate, for example, it's like half a second. But then for me to create it in oil paint on a textured ground, it can take like an hour to create the same line. Although I used the iPad and Procreate a lot in the beginning, now I've kind of built it up so much as a visual language that most of these paintings I'm doing now, they never actually see an iPad. I just draw that way now. So I've kind of taught myself how to create lines and create this uniformity of an iPad, but just purely traditional, which I think is quite fun. Yeah, I really like it when people think that they're digital, because it means I'm doing something right. And then it's more of a surprise and a treat when you see them in person. Definitely. But
and be huge as well, that they're like big.
Yeah, as big as possible. Yeah.